book nerds, Mary here. I wanted to talk about a podcast that I listened to when I was traveling home yesterday. I listened for about 2.5 hours. I did have to speed it up at one point to make sure that I would finish before the end of my trip because I was hooked. It was called Something About Cari, and it was a Dateline podcast narrated by Keith Morrison. Was recommended by my sister-in-law when I saw her yesterday, and boy, I am glad she recommended it. I am a person that typically listens to audiobooks or music in my car. I've never been a big podcast person, but I may be changing that because it was wild. If you have listened to that podcast, or maybe they did an episode of it and you've seen it, let's discuss because you really don't think about people doing the things that they sometimes do. So, if you don't know the story, spoiler free, there is a woman named Cari, and she is a mother. She had her son at a young age. She loves her son dearly. She has I believe it was Chinese symbol for mother tattooed on her foot. She clearly loves her family. She does have some mental health issues. I believe they said she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it primarily presented itself as depression. But she was very careful about introducing men to her son. If a man did not meet her son's expectations, then she wasn't interested in the man anymore. So it sounded like she dated some, but was very careful about having any kind of relationships. At one point, she takes her car into a mechanic shop because it's having some issues, and she and this mechanic make eye contact, and there's clearly something there. And a few days later, or maybe a week later, he sees her on a dating app, so he hits her up, and they end up going on a date, and it's going well. They have some great conversation. He's really interested in her, but he's kind of a player, definitely isn't looking for a relationship, and it doesn't sound like she was either. So they go back to his place to have a drink, get to know each other some more. And while they're there, his ex girlfriend knocks on the door. It was not planned, and says that she needs to pick up something from his apartment. He said, I'll just get out of here. I don't want any drama. So she leaves. They end up meeting up again. They're dating casually. I think they've both made it clear they're not looking for a relationship. And at one point, she says, I have a work thing that's going to take up a lot of time, and my work is so much closer to your apartment. Do you mind if I just stay at your apartment for a few days? And he was like, sure, it's fine. The first morning she's there, he kisses her goodbye. She's working on her computer and then getting ready to go to work. And she is, by the way, someone who works in IT, and she's super smart. From there, no one ever sees her again, but the man starts getting crazy texts from her, and she's basically stalking him, is what it looks like. And then the ex girlfriend, who was just there to pick up her stuff, starts getting all of these crazy stalking texts as well. The son and the mother of Cari are getting texts saying that she's leaving, she's not interested. She tells her son he has to come with her. He's like, what are you talking about? But none of them see her. Randomly, they would get texts. This goes on for several years. The police have been informed that she's a missing person by her mom. Her Ford Explorer is missing. The man she was seeing and his ex girlfriend have both filed stalking charges against her, but no one has seen her. So, what happened to Cari? Did she have a mental health episode and now she's missing somewhere? There are random Facebook posts on Cari's page saying that she is an adult. If she wants to leave, she can. She posts things about the man saying that they're getting married. There are posts calling his ex girlfriend names and saying bad things about her. But where is Cari? No one's seen her. After several years, the police finally have a theory, and they start to gather evidence as to what happened. I don't want to spoil it because I really think you should listen to it. It's something else. It's something else. And I may now be hooked on true crime podcasts because it had me on the edge of my seat the entire time, guessing what was happening, what's true, what isn't. You don't know who to trust. There are so many stories going around. It is an exceptional story and it was presented so well. So I do highly recommend, if you enjoy audiobooks or if you already enjoy podcasts, listen to Something About Cari on Dateline. Highly recommend. 5 of 5 stars. If you have other podcast recommendations, let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.